The Rigveda, hymn 10.174, the King. 5 verses. With offering for success, in fight whence Indra was victorious, with this, O Brahmanaspata, let us attain to royal sway, subduing those who rival us, subduing all malignities, withstand the man who menaces, withstand the man who angers us. Soma and Savitar, the god, have made thee a victorious king. All elements have aided thee to make thee general conqueror. Oblation that which Indra gave and thus grew glorious and most high. This have I offered, gods, and hence now verily am rivalless, slayer of rivals, rivalless, victorious with royal sway. Over these beings may I rule, may I be sovereign of the folk. The unseen folk. And by gods they mean devas, right? And there's different kinds of kings, right? And so how you deal with anger and other forms of disturbance make you more of a master of your devatas, as it's called. Hymn 10.175, press stones, 4 verses. Well, at least then the devas are not against you in that respect, that you're in line with them and they're in line with you. May Savitar, the god, O stones, stir you according to the law, be harnessed to the shafts, and press. Stones, drive calamity away, drive ye away malevolence. Make ye the cows our medicine, of one accord the upper stones, giving the bull his bull-like strength. Look down with pride on those below. May Savitar, the god, O stones, stir you as law commands for him who sacrifices pouring juice. And it's not just the consumption of food and drink. It is the process of putting it out that is spiritualized. In 10.176, Agna, 4 verses. With hymns of praise their sons have told aloud the Rupas's mighty deeds, who all supporting have enjoyed the earth as 'twere a mother cow. Bring forth the god with song divine, being Jatavedas hitherward, to bear our gifts at once to heaven. He here, a god-devoted priest, led forward comes to sacrifice, like a car covered for the road. He glowing knows himself the way. This Agni rescues from distress, as 'twere from the immortal race, a god yet mightier than strength, a god who hath been made for life. Hymn 10.177, Maya Beda, 3 verses. The sapient with their spirit and their mind behold the bird adorned with all an asura's magic might. Sages observe him in the ocean's inmost depth. The wise disposers seek the station of his rays. The flying bird bears speech within his spirit. Erst the Gandharva in the womb pronounced it, and the seat of sacrifice the sages cherish, this radiant, heavenly bright invention. I saw the herdsman, him who never resteth, approaching and departing on his pathways. He clothed in gathered and diffused splendor, within the worlds continually travels. And our perception can be put in a spiritual context, but there's more than the mental perception, that there's a spiritual perception, things beyond which we can speak about, things beyond which we can think about, although you think about them through a filter, right? And see the spiritual formulas. God reveals things to humanity so that they can use them. In the previous one, hymn 10.178, Tarksha, 3 verses. This very mighty one, whom God's commission, the conqueror of cars, ever triumphant, swift, fleet to battle, with uninjured fellies, even Tarksha for our weal will we call hither. As though we offered up our gifts to Indra, may we ascend him as a ship for safety. Like the 2 wide worlds, broad, deep, far extended, may we be safe both when he comes and leaves you, he who with might the 5 lands have pervaded, like Surya with his luster and the waters. His strength wins hundreds, thousands, none averted, as the young maid repelleth not her lover. Now, the people that we call Persians or Iranian, or, that section of the Aryans, are 1. And 4 are who we call the Hindus. So those 2 races are, and by Hindus, I don't mean some religious group, I mean, like Pakistan and Bangladesh and hymn 10.179, Indra, 3 verses. Now lift ye up yourselves and look on Indra's seasonable share. If it be ready, offer it. Unready, ye have been remiss. Oblation is prepared. Come to us, Indra. The sun hath travelled over half this of its journey. Friends with their stores are sitting round thee, waiting like lords of clans for the tribe's wandering chieftain, dressed in the utter and on fire, I fancy, well dressed, I fancy, is this recent present. Drink, Indra, of the curd of noon's libation. With favor, thunderer, thou whose deeds are mighty. And well, we certainly have to be patient for others sometimes. Hymn 10.180, Indra, 3 verses. O much invoked, thou hast subdued thy foemen, thy might is loftiest here. Display thy bounty. In thy right hand, O Indra, bring us treasures. Thou art the lord of rivers, filled with riches. Like a dread wild beast roaming on the mountain, thou hast approached us from the farthest distance. Whetting thy bolt and thy sharp blade, O Indra, crush thou the foe, and scatter those who hate us. Thou, mighty Indra, sprangest into being as strength for lovely lordship o'er the people. Thou drovest off the folk who were unfriendly, and the gods thou gavest room and freedom. And, they had dominion of a particular aspect or thing or whatever. But the light beings also have their own personality, just because they don't have this accountability that the Asuras and the humans have. Hymn 10.181, Visvadevas, 3 verses. Vashistha mastered the Vredantara, took it from radiant Dhatar, Savitar, and Vishnu. Oblation, portion of 4-fold oblation, known by the names of Saprathas and Prathas. These sages found what lay remote and hidden, the sacrificer's loftiest secret essence. From radiant Dhatar, Savitar, and Vishnu, from Agni, Varadvaja brought the Berhat. They found with mental eyes the earliest Yajus, a pathway to the gods that had descended. From radiant Dhatar, Savitar, and Vishnu, from Surya did these sages bring the Karma. I don't know what all those words mean, but through spiritual practices, you can explore pathways and discover things. Hymn 10, 182, Brihaspati, 3 verses. Brihaspati, lead us safely over troubles and turn his evil thought against the sinner. Repel the curse and drive away ill feeling, and give the sacrificer peace and comfort. May Narasamsa aid us at Prayaja. Blessed be our Anuyaja at invokings. May he repel the curse and chase ill feeling and give the sacrificer peace and comfort. May he whose head is flaming burn the demons, haters of prayer, so that the arrow slay them. May he repel the curse and chase ill feeling and give the sacrificer peace and comfort. And yeah, sometimes you have to work on yourself and your emotional and other psychiatric issues as you're working with dealing with the spiritual forces or entities that could be against you. Hymn 10, 183, the sacrificer, and so on. 3 verses. I saw thee meditating in thy spirit, what sprang from fervor and hath thence developed, bestowing offspring here, bestowing riches, spread in thine offspring, thou who cravest children. I saw thee pondering in thine heart, and praying that in due time thy body might be fruitful. Come as a youthful woman, rise to meet me, spread in thine offspring. Thou who cravest children, in plants and herbs, in all existent beings, I have deposited the germ of increase. All progeny on earth have I engendered, and sons in women who will be hereafter. And certainly form a spiritual plan of your, with your desires. Hymn 10, 184, 3 verses. May Vishnu form and mold the womb. May Tavashtar duly shape the forms. Prajapati infuse the stream, and Vatar lay the germ for thee. O Sindhivali, set thou the germ. Sarasvati, may the twain gods bestow the germ, the asvins crowned with lotuses, that which the asvins twain rub forth with the attrition sticks of gold. That germ of thine we invocate, that in the 10th month thou mayest bear. Well, pray for 9 months, and then the 10th month you have a newborn, right? But just because it seems like it's going to happen naturally doesn't mean that you don't pray through the process. And by naturally, I mean, on its own. Hymn 10, 185, Aditya, 3 verses. Great, unassailable must be the heavenly favor of 3 gods, Varuna, Mitra, Aryaman. O'er these, neither at home nor yet abroad, are pathways that are strange. The evil-minded foe hath power, nor over him the man on whom the sons of Aditya bestow eternal light, that he may live. And one of the things in the Bible is we see, those 3 angels that came in Genesis, and sometimes you have these 3 groups of light beings for some reason. And 10, 186 value. Filling our hearts with health and joy, may Vata breathe his balm on us. May he prolong our days of life. Thou art our Father, Vata, yea, thou art a brother and a friend. So give us strength that we may live the store of Amrita laid away yonder. O Vata, in thine home, give us thereof that we may live. And yeah, we don't live by ourselves. We have to continually do things to maintain ourselves. The downfall of being incarnate, right? Hymn 10, 187, Agni. 5 verses. To Agni send I forth my song, to him the bull of all the folk. So may he bear us past our foes, who from the distance far away shines brilliantly across the wastes. So may he bear us past our foes, the bull with brightly gleaming flame, who utterly consumes the fiends. So may he bear us past our foes, who looks on all existing things and comprehends them with his view. So may he bear us past our foes, resplendent Agni, who was born in farthest region of the air. So may he bear us past our foes. And even if you can otherwise see your victory, you should certainly invoke as part of that victory, and it can make a difference, even in how you operate the matter. The manner. In 1088, Agni, 3 verses. Now send ye Jetabetas forth, send hitherward the vigorous steed to seat him on her sacred grass. I raise the lofty eulogy of Jetabetas, raining boons with sages for his hero band, with flames of Jetabetas which carry oblation to the gods. May he promote our sacrifice. And what makes it sacred grass? And how does, speaking of other heroes, how does that bestow things on us? Well, Islam and other faiths teach that if you pray for others, you pray for yourself too. Hymn 1089, Surya, 3 verses. This spotted bull hath come, and sat before the mother in the east, advancing to his father heaven. Expiring when he draws his breath, she moves along the lucid spheres. The bull shines out through all the sky. Song is bestowed upon the bird. It rules supreme through 30 realms, throughout the days at break of morn. Every 72 years, there's 1 degree shift in that. Although one of the things about 30 is that more than 29 and a half days is the synod month, new moon to new moon. So the sighting of the crescent is either 29 or 30 days in between. So 30 being most of the days is a number that represents the moon. I don't know why we have 31 day months or 28 day months, although there's another cycle of the moon that's 27 point something days. Isn't that the zodiac thing that it goes through the signs of the zodiac and returns to the sign of the same zodiac? Yeah, 27 point something. Anyways, hymn 10, 190, creation, 3 verses. From fervor kindled to its height, eternal law and truth were born. Thence was the night produced, and thence the billowy flood of sea arose. From that same billowy flood of sea, the year was afterwards produced. Ordainer of the days, nights, Lord over all, who closed the eye, Vatar, the great creator, then formed in due order sun and moon. He formed in order heaven and earth, the regions of the air and light. And, well, some myths actually talk about the moon or whatever being formed first, but this is, of course, the right order. The heavens and the earth and the sun and the moon, the sun before whatever, and hymn 1091, Agni, 4 verses. Thou, mighty Agni, gatherest up all that is precious for thy friend. Bring us all treasures as thou art enkindled in libation's place. Assemble, speak together, let your minds be all of one accord. As ancient gods, unanimous, sit down to their appointed chair. The place is common, common the assembly, common the mind. So be their thought united. A common purpose do I lay before you, and worship with your general oblation. One and the same by your resolve, and be your minds of one accord. United be the thoughts of all, that all may happily agree. And yeah, as much as there's enemies and all this other stuff, a goal that even if you have it, it works more towards peace between such that you want peace and goodness for all. And sometimes peace itself is the